they're out of the woods. But if the broker is the escrow agent, first step, notify the Florida Real Estate Commission in writing within 15 business days of the last demand. That's your test concept. That's what you just highlighted. Now, after that, if the broker is escrow agent, they have the responsibility of instituting one of four possible, depending on contractual agreement, settlement procedures that must be followed if they are escrowed agents. If they're not, the parties can fight it out on their own without the broker. Now again, if anyone has been involved in a civil suit and you go before the judge is going to throw you the hell out of there and tell you to go to a mediator. And the mediators are chosen, and the parties will go to a disinterested third party who will try to get them to resolve their dispute. Simply enough, mediation can fail because a mediator is someone who tries to bring the parties together, kind of like a broker. Now again, an arbitrator is normally chosen should mediation fail. An arbitrator in a non-judicial process, unlike a mediator, is allowed to decide what happens to that $60,000. Whether the buyer gets it, seller gets it, or it's split in a way the arbitrator decides. Now, again, the worst thing that could ever happen in a failed real estate transaction is the courts. Because now the only people making money are the attorneys, right? And in a litigation or court action, there are two ways the broker can proceed depending on whether it is worth their while to go forward or not. You know, if it's a very small transaction and you think of legal fees, court costs, it might not be worth the broker's while. So again, let's make this a small one. It's a $1,000 deposit. Hey, for a $2,000 brokerage fee, I am chasing the $1,000. So I'm going to submit that monies, if I'm escrow agent, to the circuit court in which the property is located in that county, and let the two buyer and seller fight it out. Now, if my brokerage fee is going to be, what's that? Let's say 8 times. If my brokerage fee is going to be $24,000, I'm going to be involved in the fight. It's worth my while. Okay? And now I will be part of the lawsuit and request a declaratory judgment, making me part of it also. And again, the FREC does get the dispute. They may always issue an escrow disbursement order. Now, there are exceptions that by law and rule money in deposit must be returned to the buyer, even over the objections of the seller. So these are the 3 exemptions to reach it, where one can, if a regulated broker, return the monies to the buyer under contract if they meet these qualifications. They are as follows. When housing and urban development, the FHA insures the property and it goes into foreclosure, they pay the insurance to the lender, and then they're stuck with the property. They auction it off to the high bidder. Everyone brings a certified check to bid. If you don't win the bid, you get your money back. HUD will not object. It's contractual. Now, the state of Florida has a cooling off period for all condominium purchases. All condominium purchases, as we'll learn more tomorrow, in the state of Florida, require that the buyer, after contract, and after receipt of all relevant documents, have a cooling off period of 3 business days to cancel the contract with the seller. They cannot be held in default. And 15 business days for the buyer to cancel the contract with the developer, and they cannot be held liable for default. Okay? So that's condo law in the state of Florida. And lastly, not only finance contingencies, but make it broader. Any contingency that is agreed by buyer and seller must be honored. In essence, residential properties, if they are subject to financing, the buyer, after a good faith effort, cannot get financing. The seller has agreed to return their deposit. And if stated so in the contract, they cannot dispute it. Any contingency that is agreed upon between the two parties that is legal must be honored. You know, many times buyers purchase properties and we put a contingency in for the buyer, subject to appraisal, right? Subject to appraisal.